We have a voicemail number. That number is 219-2-DAVID-P. Here's a very interesting voicemail. Now, I have spoken about this in the past. I've spoken before about a so-called incel component to some of the mass shootings. Okay, some. Here's a caller who is picking up on something that may be true. I'm going to play it for you, and then I want to get your thoughts. Listen to this.
Hey, David, Logan here. I was just curious about your opinion on something. So it seems like most of the shooters that go around and shoot up schools are mostly sexually frustrated, bullied young individuals. Do you think if prostitution was legalized in America and certain individuals could have access to certain kinds of things, do you think that might have an impact on reducing the amount of shootings in America?
I mean, listen, the question is, if the shooters were having sex, would they not be shooters? At the fundamental core of the question, it's that question. Would having, I mean, really, it's even more than that, right? It's not just inability to find. Typically, the shooters are heterosexual males, so I'll use the term girlfriend, although we could be talking about a partner, significant other. Generally speaking, it does seem as though a lot of these shooters are not establishing romantic relationships in what might be a typical way given their ages. And so the question fundamentally is, if they had a girlfriend or if they just had more social connections, would it probably reduce the number of shootings? I think the answer is it very well might. But what do you do about that? And regardless, should people who, if they can't find a girlfriend, are going to shoot up a school, have access to guns? Like, it doesn't change the gun situation. But I think it's completely fair and really it's responsible to say this is such a complicated and major issue. I talk about gun safety, but we shouldn't only be talking about guns. When the right says, well, we've got to deal with mental health. Yeah, let's deal with it. So you Republicans should stop voting against bills to better fund access to mental health care. Let's increase access to mental health care in the country. But let's also require a psych eval for having a gun. So maybe we can identify more people who should be directed, instead of to getting a handgun or a rifle, to a therapist of some kind. Let's do all of the above. Should we consider, not this whole eliminate all doors, but does it make sense to have police do evaluations of schools and say, here's 5 recommendations that could be done to increase security? Do it. Of course, do all those things, but the guns have to be a part of it. And additionally, this element of, well, what is the connection between lack of social connection, lack of romantic relationships, and people doing these things? Let's explore it. Anecdotally, it does seem as though this is a correlation factor, although the causation is much more difficult to ascertain. So interesting voicemail. Many of you have emailed in about essentially the same issue. We have a fantastic bonus show for you today. Joe Biden is pointing to an assault weapons ban as a, quote, rational option for gun control and gun safety. We're going to discuss it on the bonus show. Number 2, we have never been great at recycling plastic, and there are states trying a new approach, which we're going to discuss on today's bonus show. And in addition, the manager of the San Francisco Giants is taking a break from his anthem protest because of Memorial Day. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what he's been doing, Gabe Kapler, and see what people think, and much more when I am joined by producer Pat on today's bonus show. You can get access to the bonus show by signing up at joinpacman.com. Alex Jones doesn't want you to do this.
Oh, the bonus show where you want to make money. Everybody else that makes money to fund themselves is bad.
Yeah, Alex Jones, in fact, finds everything I do predatory.
That is a frickin' predator right
He doesn't
there.
like me, but I recommend signing up at joinpacman.com, and you can use the coupon code BIGVOTING22 to get a sizable discount. I will see you on the bonus show in a moment, or otherwise back on tomorrow's program.